ITV News.
Hello. First tonight, the former MP for Hartlepool, Peter Mandelson, says he has no record or recollection of receiving payments referenced in the Epstein files. Documents released by the US Department of Justice appear to show that the disgraced financier and convicted paedophile Jeffrey Epstein sent $50,000 to Lord Mandelson across two payments in June 2004 while he was a sitting MP. Lord Mandelson has questioned whether the documents are authentic and says he regrets ever having known Epstein and apologises unequivocally to the women and girls who suffered. Almost a quarter of North East households cannot afford adequate food, according to a new report. The findings from Newcastle and Gateshead's Director of Public Health warn that food inequality is increasing demand on the NHS, as well as causing serious mental and physical health issues for people in the region. The North East has the second highest rate of household food insecurity in the UK. The leader of a writing group supporting neurodiverse and disabled people in South Shields says his group could effectively end overnight if new budget proposals are approved. A Sunday closure of the Word Centre is being put forward as part of South Tyneside Council's cost-saving measures. The council says it's facing significant pressures on its budget and that it will work with groups who use the space to explore alternative arrangements if any changes are made.
What we're saying is that the impact on our group of inclusive people, would be devastated by a closure on a Sunday. And they have to think beyond just money. They also have to think of the cultural issues that are affected by a closure.
Two stained glass windows in our region are up for a prestigious award. The so-called Chemist's Window at Newcastle Cathedral and the Great East Window at York Minster have been shortlisted for the title of England's favourite stained glass window. They'll find out if they've made the final three in the coming days, with the winner announced on Friday. Chris Jepson has the details.
This window at Newcastle Cathedral is shortlisted for a vote on England's favourite cathedral stained glass. More than 4,000 people have voted as part of the Divine Light campaign, celebrating England's cathedral glass collection. Named the Chemist's Window, it tells the story of chemist Joseph Garnett.
Joseph spent a lot of his time and money and resources helping some of the most marginalised and those who are most in need in Newcastle, and is an example of a quiet Christian life, helping others but not seeking recognition. When he died in 1861, people realised that things had stopped happening, and so his friends and acquaintances gathered together and raised money for this window, which was put in 1867, in his memory.
The window is up against 11 other stained glass windows, including York Minster's Great East Window.
It's amazing that any part of this cathedral would appear in a national shortlist. This window is so important to us because whilst it dates from 1860, it very much embodies the ongoing spirit and life of this place. We work with prison leavers, those recovering from addiction, the homeless, survivors of gender-based violence, and we make sure that our choir is full of kids who've come from less advantaged as well as advantaged backgrounds. So the window, yes, it's 160 years old, but it very much speaks to our contemporary priorities as a cathedral here in the North East.
The winner of the national vote will be announced on Friday. Chris Jepson, ITV News, Newcastle.
On to sport now, and Sunderland has a new world champion. 31-year-old boxer Josh Kelly is the proud holder of the IBF light middleweight title after beating Russian fighter Barthram on a points decision last night. Meanwhile, it was a night to forget for Newcastle, who lost away to Liverpool. The Magpies took the lead through Anthony Gordon, but the Premier League champions hit back and stormed to a 4-1 win. That's all from the weekend team. Hasn't it been lovely to see some sunshine today? Tori's coming up with your forecast to let you know what the week has in store. Have a lovely evening. Take care. Bye-bye.
A heavy downpour will subside and light relaxation will set in. TUI sponsors ITV Tyne Tees weather.
Hello once again. Cloudy, grey, bits and pieces of rain, low pressure staying firmly in control, and as I've been telling you the last couple of days, it's butting up against that high pressure in Scandinavia and nothing's really getting through. But it is just going to be, we're going to see a squeeze in the isobars at times, giving us more of a chilly breeze and bits and pieces of cloud and rain just being chased around. So it is going to be, I think, quite dull and unsettled for the foreseeable. Now, overnight tonight, if you do get any breaks in the cloud, we have a full moon, and February's full moon is known as the snow moon. It is the last full moon of meteorological winter, so by the time we get to the next one, technically we'll be in springtime, which hopefully might just cheer you up a little bit, but it doesn't feel like it out there at the moment, certainly. We've got a lot of cloud that'll come and go through the night, low cloud in places, making things misty and murky with poor visibility. That's been a theme of recent days, hasn't it? And a little bit more cloud and outbreaks of rain coming through from the south by the early hours of the morning, but the cloud will help to keep the temperatures up, so it should be frost-free, and then eventually that starts to drift its way further northwards as we head through the day. Some brighter interludes later, there will be a bit more of a breeze picking up. This will help to break up the cloud a touch, so perhaps a little bit brighter later in the day and temperatures up at 6 or 7 Celsius. We're feeling quite raw though with that breeze coming in off the North Sea, and that'll continue to feed in a bit more cloud again as we head after dark into nightfall, and the low cloud once again turning quite misty with poor visibility over the hills. But low pressure stays with us for the coming week. If I give you a little bit more detail there, well, it's not very inspiring, is it? Anyway, take care.
TUI sponsors ITV Tyne Tees weather.